Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. In this video, we're going to check out Waves Online Mastering. It's a new service that promises to give you a professional master right inside of your browser. I'm really curious about this. I have not used it yet, so I thought it would be fun for us to dive in and compare this to a song that I mastered outside of Waves Online Mastering. We're going to master that same track. I'm going to upload the mix here to Waves Online Mastering, and then we'll make some comparisons. You can decide for yourself. Waves has a lot of proprietary technology. They've been around a long time. So I'm curious how all this is implemented here in their online mastering service. Does it stack up? Is it competitive? Is this going to be a good choice for those of you out there who want to be able to have affordable mastering services right here in your browser? So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so here we are on the Waves Online Mastering service. This is on their website. Now you can try it for free. So you can upload your WAV file, you can master a song. It just won't let you download it. I did buy 1 credit, which means I can download that, do that complete master here just so that we can download it and compare it with my master. A couple of initial videos. The main key points here is that you're going to need some headroom, which we've talked about on the channel for years now. You know, you want to have at least 3 or 4 dB full scale to work with here once we get our mix uploaded. You also may want to bounce a few different versions with, say, the vocal a little bit louder in your mix just to account for some of the changes that might happen once you master, and you can just be prepared and swap those out on the fly. But anyway, this is where I've got this mix. So we're going to click upload, and then we're going to do go master. Now let's see what happens here. So it's uploading. This might take a minute. I'll speed it up in the video for you all. Now it says processing, it says analyzing levels. It's almost done. Okay, so it says click to preview master, and we've got the original. So let me just play the original mix for you.
Lift me up, lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid like soldiers in rank. We never break. Kill the ox, burn the plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that I.
All right, so that's my original mix. Now let's go to master. Now this is the Waves Online Master version, and I'm going to leave the style right now on precise. You can read these descriptions.
Lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid like soldiers in rank. We never break. Kill the ox, burn the plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best.
So it sounds pretty good so far. I like the fact that they have a volume match control here, which for mastering in this context, that's helpful because we can toggle back and forth between the mix and then the master, and it's going to keep the levels the same, but we can hear some of the processing. So let's just toggle between those.
It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid like soldiers in rank. We never break. Kill the ox, burn the plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment. When 20's on a roll.
So just switching back between those with volume match on, pretty easy to hear the optimal tone, the optimized dynamics, and even a little bit nicer stereo imaging going on in the mastered version. Let's try a couple of the different styles just to hear what those are like.
It's equivalent to a wagon wheel. Those smelling like a rose have lost their pill. Lips pouring out sugar like a pixie stick. Can't quench our search for truth. We go and lift me up, lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence.
Yeah, the elevated, a little bit too bright for me, brought out quite a bit.
We never break. Kill the ox, burn the plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment. When 20's on a roll's equivalent to a wagon wheel.
I'm definitely liking precise there. It's just kind of a middle ground between this organic and the elevated option. Organic sounds a little bit dull to me, and then the elevated a little bit too bright. So yeah, this sits somewhere in between. I'm going to stick with that. Let's try these depth and presence controls here.
Lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid like soldiers in rank. We never break. Kill the ox, burn the plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment. When 20's on the rolls, equivalent to a wagon wheel. Those smelling like a rose have lost their pill. Lips pouring out sugar like a pixie stick, can't quench, I search for.
Specifically in this song, the depth is adding a little bit of mud to those low mids just with that bass line I have. And I just think the way that I cued the mix, we don't really need a ton of presence added. So I would leave those off, but some nice options to have there. It definitely gave the mix more weight. So if you're a little bit thin in your low end, that depth control is going to be nice. Now you can add a reference. So let's just do that really quick. And this is just another master from this same EP. So if we wanted to match loudness and match some of the tone, we can do that. So let's click continue. So it's just going to say analyzing levels, dynamics. Okay, so now that we have the reference, if we toggle master to reference, it's just going to try to match that. So now with that on, let's compare those.
But the battle is on, pain of my voice inflection. I'm not trying to deviate from my master's plan. Myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill. He's the potter, I'm the clay in hand. My before the day of judgment.
Pretty close there on the level matching. Let's toggle the master to reference off, so we're not going to be processing according to matching that reference.
When 20's on the rolls, equivalent to a way up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he life in the firing kiln. Tell me what you need and I got you. Does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid. Like soldiers in rank, we never break. Kill the ox, burn a plow on the road to fate. There's no exit. Just pray that
Yeah, so I think mastering to reference on this one, it just pushes it a little bit too much. I think it sounds a little cleaner without that. And the volumes are pretty close, just letting it do its thing without it having to do the exact match. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to leave that as is, and we're going to leave the tone controls off, and then we're just going to click Create Master. All right, so we got one credit available, and I'm going to click Continue and use that credit. And it says Preparing Master, Processing, and let's see how long this takes. All right, so it says, congratulations, your mastered track is ready. You can now listen to it and download the file. So yeah, overall, this is edited down a little bit, but that took me about 10 minutes to master. A lot of questions on the channel about how to deliver your master in terms of format, bit depth, and sample rate. Now, I just want to note that most distributors are going to want at least 44K 16-bit WAV file, right? I use DistroKid for distribution and they accept 24-bit WAV files. I deliver at 44.1 24-bit. You want to export at the highest possible bit depth and sample rate if your mix was done at a higher sample rate. So you want to just kind of retain whatever quality it was to begin with. And again, I've been in 44K this entire time. So doing that, and then once again, I've been in 24-bit in my mix. So we're going to download that. All right, so we downloaded our master from the Waves online mastering service. I also downloaded the master from my distributor, which is DistroKid here, exactly the way I delivered it. Loaded them both into Logic. We have an analyzer up here with LUFS, a couple of other readings here, and then also a WLM Plus, just so that we can get an idea for LUFS. Top one is my master as delivered to the distributor. Bottom is the one we just did on Waves online mastering.
You and I, do or die. Lift me up. It's always enough. Even with the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid. Like soldiers in rank, we never break. You and I, do or die. Lift me up. It's always enough. Even with the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid. Like soldiers in rank, we never break. This could be my last song, my plan's gone, it's non-stop content, no nonsense. What planet you been on? Feel like nobody's listening. I stay true to the mission. Love this music since the beginning. Now they invest in my vision. Crafting beats with precision. Inspire many from a distance. While they act like I'm privileged, I put in work about my business. Pray to God as my witness.
Couple initial observations there. You know, LUFS is pretty comparable. The Waves online one is a little bit more full in the low mids. The low end, maybe not quite as full, but low mid's definitely a bit more thickness there. The top end of my master sounds a little bit more crisp to me. So just some general kind of tone things. I want to take a look at the stereo imaging. The Waves Online one just sounds a bit wider to me, so I'm curious here.
Do or die. Lift me up. Lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid, like soldiers in rank we never break. Kill the ox, burn a plow on the road to fate, there's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the Waves Online one for the stereo imaging specifically. I just think it did a really nice thing with that stereo spread. Another thing I noticed that was kind of interesting is that the Waves Online Master, it did adjust the dynamics and the overall level of the intro, which was noticeably a little bit quieter and softer, more dynamic in, my mix, and it kind of maximized the drums on that part. But let's play it back again. So versus my master here. Something interesting to note there that it processed the dynamics on the intro, kind of the same way as the rest of the track, just sort of trying to maximize it and, make the dynamics as consistent as possible. Let's take a closer listen to the verse. I want to kind of hone in on the drum sound because that's such an important part of mastering this type of music. How are the transients processed? Are the dynamics kind of smooth, or are they a little crunchy? I'm just curious again to compare these. So let's take a listen.
Feeling slightly uplifted, gave me mercy during my missteps, and I failed to admit it. Reignited my passion when I was at my lowest, losing focus, try to keep the rent paid. True love, it don't fade, but I'm screaming out most days. How do we handle this pain? No freedom in the toxins, he saved me, so I'm locked in. Let's go. You and I, do or die. Lift me up, lift me up. It's always enough.
The drums on the Waves Master sound a little bit more glued. They're not quite as sharp. The transients on my master are just kind of cutting through a bit more. So again, comes down to taste. I'm curious, just looking at this, if there was something that we could have done to get a bit more dynamics out of the drums. Let me go back and play this back real quick.
I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment. When 20's on the rolls, equivalent to a wagon wheel. Those smelling like a rose have lost their pill. Lips pouring out sugar like a pixie stick, can't quench out.
Yeah, so going to organic, the tone is a little bit warmer, not quite as bright, but I do like the dynamics of the drums with that one. So if we do that and then we add presence, that sounds better to me now that I go in.
Lift me up. It's always enough. With the movement intuitive, watch what he does with exclusive influence. Give praise that has been paid, like soldiers in rank we never break. Kill the ox, burn a plow on the road to fate, there's no exit. Just pray that I will prove myself worthy through all of these tests, doing our best to be a light upon the hill before the day of judgment. When 20's on the rolls, equivalent.
Definitely a better drum sound there. So unfortunately, if I did want to export that now with the different style and different tone, I believe I'm going to need another credit to do that. Yeah, so once you download it, you do use a credit. It's $5 a track. So, or if you do more, you can get it down to $3.99 a track or $2.99 a track. So yeah, that's incredibly affordable in terms of just getting a quick master. So for those of you who, are just wanting to get something that's going to be competitive, that's going to have some nice dynamics, I like the stereo imaging that it did there. And I like overall the options that it gives you in terms of these styles. Sounds pretty good to me. If you want to check this out, you can try it for free. Click the link below and just upload your mix. Check it out. See what it does. You're going to be releasing this stuff or sharing it with other musicians, submitting it to A&Rs or labels or whatever. This is definitely going to take your mixes up a notch very quickly with very little effort. And obviously, you're going to save a lot of money doing it this way versus finding a mastering engineer. I would encourage you at some point to, if you've never hired a mastering engineer, hopefully you'll get to do that, because that is a different experience. I don't think that Waves Online Mastering is here to replace that. So I just want to make that clear. As a mastering engineer, as someone who does this professionally, this is just something that's going to be a different alternative option for a lot of independent musicians out there. And I think it's a pretty good one. Again, I'm curious to know what you think of Waves Online Mastering. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your thoughts. If you learned anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. Hit that notification bell for more, and we'll talk to you soon.